Hello and welcome to episode 73 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And I knew what episode we were on.
We couldn't have said it any closer to the beginning. You literally said, what episode is it? I said, 73.
Literally every single time before we film, I'm like, oh, by the way, what episode is this? So I can say it. And yet every single time.
Which episode is this?
Apparently it was 73.
73.
Who knew?
Woo! Well, we did.
Yeah, we did.
You did.
I did. I knew. And then it's like immediately thought, hey, who has the brain cell? Because it's not me.
It's me.
No.
Today. It's mine.
Well, can I borrow it? Please.
Mother said it's my turn with the brain cell.
Mine.
No.
All day. Is that a bubble in my drink? Yeah, it is.
Is it a bubble or a...
I thought it was a bubble, but it's a bubble.
You thought it was a what? Oh, a bug. Oh, no.
As I was setting up, there was a fly in that light.
Ew.
It was just flying around inside that light.
There was. I think... I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see. I think there was a massive spider hiding in the jacket on the floor in the bedroom next to the mirror.
You always think there's a large spider somewhere, though.
Yeah, listen, if you're in the UK, you'll know, like, around this time of year is when, like, just the biggest, like, mutant spiders ever.
Like, that's coming from us in the UK. You know, we have Australian viewers.
Yeah, I know. Who will probably
these are probably like that big.
Yeah, but that's really big for
big
us.
For the UK.
For us, like we're used to like I don't know, like spiders that are like
tiny, incy spiders,
like that big at very most,
it's
right?
A spider.
Yeah, they're huge, and I'm pretty
climbed up the water spout.
Oh, watch us get copyright. Watch that the first copyright strike we get. No, please.
Rain came along, isn't it?
Down came the rain.
Down came the rain.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
I'm a connoisseur of...
I don't know. Itsy bitsy spider.
Yeah, well, that's a shame for you. But yeah, anyway, I think there's a huge spider in the bedroom. But I didn't have my glasses on, and I thought it was fluff, and I blew on it, and it moved in a way that dictates to me it was a spider.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So hello.
Hello.
How about you? How are the spiders in your... I'm not
How
talking
are your
to you.
spiders?
I'm talking to the spiders in your house.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Spiders.
Entity... Make all the spiders reveal themselves.
Yes, make all the spiders run out
immediately
at once.
All over their face. Thank you. How are you doing? What have you been up to this Thursday?
This fine Thursday.
Have you had a good week?
This sweet, beautiful Thursday that we've been blessed with today.
Wow. What have you been doing? What have you been up to? You watched anything nice? You eating anything nice? I'd like to know.
Just gruel and daytime TV.
Entity, feed them gruel.
Feed them gruel and make them watch daytime TV.
Make them eat their gruel.
Daytime TV sucks.
Daytime TV, you know what? I used to love daytime TV when I was a kid as well.
I despise daytime TV. Daytime TV makes me think of when I was sick as a child.
Oh, and you had to stay at home and watch daytime TV with your mom.
Oh my god.
Yeah. See, I used to love daytime. I
hate daytime TV.
I used to love it. I was one of those kids who any excuse to stay off school, I would take it. And my dad was so soft, he would let me.
Yeah.
So I missed a lot of school. And
I remember one time I tried to Skype off school and tried to play RuneScape.
Oh.
My dad caught me playing RuneScape when I was supposed to be sick, and he sent me to school. I never got to stay off school as a kid.
I stayed off school way too much.
We got golden pens for 100% attendance.
Who cares?
But I got them all because I was never allowed to not be at school.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I missed a lot of school, and make of that what you will. But yeah, I missed a lot of school.
Well educated. That's what
couldn't look at a map and tell you where
England is.
Yeah, but
I think you could tell me where England is.
I could tell you where England is.
I think you could tell me where America is.
I could tell you where America is.
I think that's about it.
And that's all I'm going to say on that.
I think that's about it. And I think by proxy, you could probably tell me where Canada is.
Yes, I could.
Because it's above America.
I was about to say it's below.
No, what is below America?
Mexico.
Correct.
See? I'm well educated.
Well educated.
I went to like a weird school anyway. Anyway, that's where. What
you did go to a weird school.
I did go to a weird school.
You did be going to a weird school.
Well, it wasn't weird. It was Montessori school. I feel like that. That's
actually probably quite normal.
I'm the epitome of what a Montessori school child is in adult life, to be honest.
The thing is, right, you say Montessori.
Oh my God.
Montessori. You say Montessori school is weird.
Yeah.
But you probably learn more vital things in
you
there
do.
than you do in real school.
You do. Yeah.
Because real school is a joke.
Yeah.
Who the
entity make them skive off school.
Who cares about the stuff you learn in school? Seriously. Oh god, the school system is so bad.
I agree. This makes me look like I'm wearing a turtleneck, by the way. We have to. Oh my god, we have to do the most embarrassing thing ever and film thumbnails before we start filming to make sure that we have like the thing set up. It looks like I'm wearing a turtleneck.
Does it?
Yeah,
No,
it does.
It just got a tight collar.
Yeah.
Stop pulling it.
Weird.
Tight collars look good.
Thank you. This isn't mine. This is Jack's.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's cold. Anyway.
It's got a saying on the back that Margaret doesn't understand because she hasn't finished campaign 2 yet.
Yeah, I'll finish it one day. And hey, I'm here to tell you it's okay to wear merch for things that you like but aren't fully understanding of. It's fine.
No one cares.
You're allowed to do that. You're
and if
allowed
somebody comes up and goes, name 3 songs, you say, shut up.
Yeah. You're more than entitled to like something and want to support them and wear their merch.
I reckon the band that you bought the merch of cares more the fact that you gave them some money than the fact that you're wearing the t-shirt and don't know the song names.
Yeah, so I know, all of us have been through that, especially women, constantly. But it's okay to...
Have you even finished it?
Name 3 characters.
Do you know, the time that happened to me, that was the most cringy for the person who asked me.
Go on.
I was wearing, I was really into skateboarding at one point in my life because of the person I was with, obviously, because I can't be my own person.
Yeah.
And I was I was wearing a Death Wish t-shirt, which is like a skateboard company thing. And they have a team. And on a night out, someone came out to me and was like, bet you can't name 10 skateboarders on their team. And I could, obviously. And I did it, and they called me a bitch anyway, so...
They do that.
Yeah.
They like to do that.
Yeah.
You should watch campaign 2 though.
I should.
Me and Margaret
I think I'm like 55 episodes through campaign 2.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Can we check?
No, like it's really hard for me to. You
struggle to just sit down and commit to something that long.
I really do.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like I can play games, but I think that's because I'm actively doing something.
Yeah.
To get me to commit to watching even just like an episode of a TV show or watching a movie, oh my god, I can't. I have to set aside the time prior to do so.
And I keep saying like. Because you keep saying,
I
really want to watch Critical
Role.
Role. I really want to watch Critical Role.
Really do.
Because it's so up your street, but it's the time commitment. I'm just like, why don't we just set one day aside a week?
I can't. My brain.
But I thought that would be good for your brain.
That
day be Critical
brain
Role.
Brain go.
Yeah. Brain do be going brrr.
That's it.
Brrr.
How are you?
I'm good, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm great. We played D&D with our friends.
We did. We played D&D last night.
Sorry, we had to clap out because the dog's licking himself.
And then I clap us back in. I'm like, Margaret, are you ready? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I clap us in, and then she goes, We played D&D last night.
We played D&D last night. We've actually played D&D twice this week. Twice this week. Yeah.
We played IRL D&D
for
the first time since the 16th of August.
God, that is long.
That's going to be loud.
Oh. I'm trying really hard not to put my lips on it as well.
Just like that.
Yeah. that's for Patreon only. It's the 27th of September today at the time of filming.
So it's about, a month and a half.
Yeah. God, as if it was that long. I can't believe it was that long.
Weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Feels like longer than that.
It does feel like longer than that. But again, it's one of these things where you meet up with your friends and it's like no time's passed at all. It just felt so normal. Like we have a ritual, right? So Matthew always gets here first.
Because I go out to pick up Josh and Abby.
Yeah.
And Matthew arrives before I get back.
Yeah, like maybe like 15 minutes before you arrive. So me and Matthew always catch up on like how he's been. He's been on holiday
to Canada.
Canada. And so we caught up on that, and then we shit talk for a while.
Oh.
Then
no.
We have a little gossip for a while, and then Jack comes.
Everyone, give her the toots.
I deserve it. Jack comes home with Josh and Abby. And Abby comes in. She normally has some sort of bread bun or a crumpet she's going to eat and a Red Bull. And Josh always gets a meal deal from the co-op.
Yeah.
And he stands either on that side of the room or that side of the room. And he eats his sandwich. And we all have a little chit chat. And it's really good. And it's really fun. And that's our pre-D&D.
That's our pre-D&D ritual.
Yeah. It's like probably like half an hour of maybe a bit longer.
Last night was longer because Abby's DMing.
Oh my God, Abby's DMing.
DMing.
Abby did such a great job.
Abby did a fantastic job.
Such an amazing job. She's running a kind of a mixture of the Spelljammer module mixed in with like her own kind of homebrew thing. And she's done amazing. It was so good. And we've all sort of made like
she was like, it's not going to be massively serious.
Yeah.
So we made not serious characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing a druid called Basil.
Yeah.
You're playing a...
I'm playing a feral tiefling who is a fighter, and she's going to be an Echo Knight.
I'm going to be a Stars Druid.
And her actual real name is...
Come on.
Pazuzu, Elvis, Asmodeus, Shah. Loads of demon names. Loads of demon names that spell out peaches.
Loads of demon names that spell out
peaches. Her name's Peaches. Her name is funny. And Matthew's playing
a barbarian
Leonin called Chuck Boulder.
Which we all laughed at.
Your typical Varsity jock, and Josh is playing a Twilight cleric Owlin called Nikolai Van Houten. But what did we keep calling him?
At the beginning, because we
Owl.
Yeah, we were like, we got tricked straight into a combat, and we were like talking to each other about like, oh yeah, and then I go over and I looked at Josh's thing, and I was looking at it upside down because Josh was sitting across from me, and I was like, Nikolai.
He
was like, that's not what I'm called.
And his voice, he's like, and he always goes, who? It's Nikolai. My mother gave me that name.
So,
it was so funny.
Yeah.
And you know what? Oh my God, it was so nice to play D&D with our friends again.
Yeah.
And it was, like Jack said, it was nice to play characters that like just aren't serious.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to fuck about.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to fuck about and find out. And
we're okay now.
Yeah, Abby has set us up perfectly to do so.
Yeah.
And her humor is so similar to my humor as well. I think we all have a very similar sense of humor.
I think.
And it was just great, and it was so funny, and there was so many things to do, and I'm really excited to play again. So for her first time DMing, she did an amazing job.
She did do a really great job.
She did an amazing job.
And, you know, it's not massively serious, so there doesn't need to be, like, loads of tone setting.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were walking through, and we had, like, an itinerary for our first day, like, our induction.
Yes,
we basically went and got our welcome packs, went to our dorms, did the gymnasium thing.
We're going to go to a nightclub next session.
There's out-of-curricular activities that we
there's
can
like
do.
A nightclub. There's
the Super Happy Fun Time Park.
Yeah, Super Happy Fun Time Park. There's the Wacky Races.
Yeah, there's a circus, yeah.
Mr. Mistopheles Circus.
Yeah, that's the circus, yeah. And then there's obviously all the things that we do in
the academy too. Yeah. So
there's basically Spelljammers and
the Marine Corps.
So there's basically two aspects of it. There's like the spellcasters and the marshals.
Yeah. And Peaches is very much like, I'm a spellcaster. What are you talking about? I'm a spellcaster. And she's absolutely categorically not.
A fighter.
Yeah, she's a fighter. And
she couldn't be any less spellcastery.
She's just a typical prep. She had a cat fight with someone already.
Yeah.
Basil's a really sweet, gentle Furbolg druid. That's all you need to know, really. Chuck Boulder.
To say, oh wow.
Oh wow. Chuck Boulder can't read.
Chuck Boulder cannot
We made him read the whole
Nope, he certainly can't read.
And Nikolai faints.
Yeah, anytime anything like confrontational happens, he just hits the deck.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Oh, and
like he was so like timid and
oh my God.
And then we did this thing where we basically did the orientation in the gym, and then we did the spellcasting orientation, and you put this helmet on, and you have to think of like something that you really want. And this character said, what did he say?
I want to be one with the darkness.
Yeah, after all of this very, very timid stuff, he says, I want to be one with the darkness.
We're
all like, what? What?
Every time he fucking talked in that voice, like I can't. Nikolai. It was so funny, man. It was so much fun.
It was just the whole thing. It was great fun.
Can't wait to play again. Sorry. Ooh, I can't wait to play again.
Can't wait to play again.
If I ever make it
If
to
you
again.
make it to next week.
I can't wait to play again.
Yes.
And again, I was saying this in the car to Jack. Like, it's really nice to play a character. Like, don't get me wrong. For like long-term campaigns, I love a really serious, like stoic, kind of not cold, but off. A standoffish character who has like a tragic background, etc., etc. It's nice to play just a fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Peaches is necessarily nice.
No, she maybe not isn't nice, but she's definitely light-hearted.
Yeah,
in her
yeah.
delivery.
Yeah, it's nice.
I always like to play really nice characters.
Yeah, you do.
I always like to play. They all have horrifically tragic backstories, but they're always really nice.
Yeah,
and they always just get on with the party because I just do that the best.
Yeah, I agree. I very much agree.
I think sometimes if I try to play a standoffish character, I don't think I would do it very well.
Yeah, I think I do it well because my character is always standoffish to everyone else apart from the party.
Yeah.
And to be fair, my character is always like really like fiercely loyal and like very gentle with their friends, but outside of that. So I think
everyone's fair game.
Yeah, everyone is fair game. So I think
we saw a mind flayer.
We saw a mind flayer. It was like
it was chained up.
Yeah,
and
ew. She described it so horribly. She was like
its tentacles were all like around the side and like.
It had like a Hannibal Lecter kind of mask on. It was kind of gross. There was like a weird hobgoblin.
There was we were at the sky deck and
if you know Spelljammer, don't tell us about it and don't give us any spoilers.
Was talking to a human and he said, "Don't worry, your secret's safe with me," because I took observant and I could read it.
Yeah.
And he handed them
a
something.
Vial of something.
And then the hobgoblin
liquid.
got on the ship and flew away.
Yeah.
And it had a specific name.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And there was an ectoplasmic
anomaly.
Yeah. I don't know. All sorts of Spelljammer nonsense.
Weird shit.
So yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah,
good, clean fun. Well done, Abby.
Well done, Abby.
You did a great job.
You did a great job.
And I can't wait to play again.
Fantastic job.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I'm playing WoW. It's been great.
We're playing WoW. We're trying to get rich on WoW.
It's not working.
It's not working.
At all.
Nope. We're watching loads of guides. Shout out to Dr.
Shizzo.
Dr. Shizzo.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dr. Shizzo.
Dr. Shizzo, you're doing God's work out here.
Yeah. Somewhere Deli GG.
Dalla GG.
Dalla GG as well.
Yeah. Shout out watching all your gold making guides. We're not making any money yet. But we will.
Think we need to do more transmog.
Yeah.
Because transmog rarely sells, so you need to get a lot of good pieces.
Yeah.
And we've got like a couple of good pieces and a lot of shit.
Yeah, we're such noobs when it comes to it. And like there's a lot of like having to do old world professions that I just don't know really where to get started.
I don't really know how to start.
And shout out to Dr. Shizzo and Dalla GG. If you like WoW, I'll link their stuff below. But they're good guides. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
I
think that's about it.
Shall we just get into it?
Let's get into it.
I'm not going to taunt you and say you can read because I know you can't, especially because he has the brain cell. So
it's all mine.
I'm sure this comes as a complete surprise to you.
Yes.
That we are doing horror and wholesome stories today.
God.
Oh, who knew?
Not me.
No.
Not the dog.
No, not the
Bully
dog.
didn't know.
Definitely not them.
You didn't know.
You've
never known a thing.
Before we get into it, I meant to say this in the very beginning. We keep saying it, and I know we do, but thank you so much to everyone who has been commenting on our videos recently. I know we're kind of making a big deal being like, thank you for commenting, but you have no idea how much it's actually really genuinely helped the channel.
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievable.
Like, just the shit that you comment is so good.
What was it?
Algorithm.
Yeah.
Instead of algorithm, algorithm.
Alligator for the gay rhythm.
Alligator for the gay rhythm.
Yep.
There's something that are like, this is a comment. Comment for a comment. Comment for comment's sake. All of them.
Amazing.
I want more.
Amazing.
More comments.
And you know what? Also, there is so many people
who comment like every time, no matter what.
Who comment every single time. And
commenting like on the videos and stuff.
Yeah, who like
also amazing.
You know, especially the last one where we were like, if anyone has any advice to follow up from our advice to these people, please leave it below. So many of you come through with really genuinely helpful advice as well, which is great. So thank you so much. And I know for a fact it's been confirmed by the crypto gods that
crypto bros
that the people who submit their things do see the videos and they do see the comments. So thank you. Really, truly thank you. And
yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for leaving all your comments. It's very much
Yes,
appreciated.
you beautiful people.
Yeah. Thank
More comments.
More comments.
If a video, if a video ever gets less comments than the one before it, I'll just quit.
What? He doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean that. What the fuck?
But what if I did?
Well, just me sat here. I have to get up every time and move to your seat. Yeah, and sit down.
Oh my goodness.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh my god, don't.
Imagine.
Oh my god, don't. The dog is asleep.
Mm-hmm. Dog's better.
Dog's better.
Dog's
better.
Dog's basically back to normal. So
yeah.
It's great. Fantastic news.
So we get into it.
Let's go.
Horror stories. We're going to do, and wholesome stories.
Horror and wholesome.
We're going to do the same thing we always do. We're going to go horror, wholesome, and we're going to end on a wholesome, I think. We're going to end on something.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Not you.
Not me.
Because you can't read.
Yeah, we end on a wholesome.
Yeah.
Of course we do.
Let's go.
So these are all submissions. Thank you so very much to everyone who has submitted your stories to us. If you have a horror story or a wholesome story you'd like to submit, the link is in the bio below.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Let's go.
So this is the first horror one. This has been sent in by DragonmaidValet.
Good.
I've fallen at the first hurdle. Okay, DragonmaidValet, or just DMV for short. And the pronouns are they, them.
DMV.
Thank you so much, DMV.
Thank for submission.
Thank DMV.
Comment law for submission.
So, this is a long one, but you'll see why. This is definitely the longest one.
Gimme it.
My apologies for the length of horror story. I have condensed it as much as possible, but this session still rings in my head like it happened yesterday. And it's everything that I now and it's everything that I as a now
Oh goodness gracious me.
Is everything that I as a newfound DM model my sessions not to be.
Okay. Great stuff.
Should I be lucky enough for the Podblast to read it, I hope that this story itself will give some players out there enough courage to stand up against the torrentially abhorrent behavior that occurs at some tables. And the ending, I hope, brings a sliver of hope to y'all. Things can get better.
Okay.
Thank you, DMV. That is a wonderful
Thank you,
sentiment.
DMV.
So I had long ago, likely in 2019 to 2020 timeframe, managed to find myself a D&D group online. I had only played in 2 campaigns previously, and both died out after session 1-0-1 because of scheduling conflicts or inter-party conflicts. My GM, who I will just call GM, was very eager to have me play. We were pretty far apart as far as time zones are concerned, but we did have schedules to line up for the campaign as well as all the other players. I don't quite remember much about all the other players except for one, but I do remember red flag 1 being that we completely changed systems and additions a mere few days before our first session.
Okay.
The GM decided instead of going with 5e, he wanted to do Pathfinder, which my knowledge was already very limited of. I did my best to try and convert my College of Swords Tiefling Bard to Pathfinder's closest comparables. My attempt was to make a freak show performer who used their piercings and body modifications to astound and terrify, but in a good way. Such an edgy choice looking back at it, but he was always friendly and accepting of those who were different or unusual.
Very cool.
The party members and I were an elf paladin, a dwarf rogue, and then the troublemaker. What do you think it is?
A paladin.
No. A human fighter.
How was I going to get that?
I don't know. I, to this day, still find it strange that he was the human fighter was the one causing all the chaos and hell that went on.
Human fighter.
But looking back on it, the red flags were literally so bold and bright, I don't know how I missed them. That's hindsight,
you
baby.
don't know, but you just want to play D&D,
Yeah,
so you
that's hindsight.
You just
You rationalize the red flags.
You rationalize the red flags because you're just so desperate to play D&D.
Definitely. We've all been there.
Oh,
God,
100%.
we've been there. 100%.
I've been there. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
Yeah. My tiefling named Moonweaver woke up after a long carriage ride to their fellow party members also being present on the carriage. We had all been resting over an hours-long trip to finally awake and meet each other. The human fighter, who I will call T for soon-to-be obvious reasons, spoke up first.
Does it just T-pose? And nothing else?
Imagine, that's the whole horror story.
Whole
He just
horror
won't stop T-posing.
Won't stop T-posing. He stands over me at night T-posing.
My name is Tyrone blank, followed by a surname that was definitely rang of a racial slur.
Uh-oh.
In the moment, my brain almost didn't believe it. I was particularly unsure if he was joking or not. Was it just a stupid sounding fantasy last name that hit my ears wrong, or was I reading into it too much and it wasn't anything at all? I had no clue, but that was the moment I truly wished I had dropped it and left, but a part of me was so desperate for some kind of camaraderie that I just let it be, perhaps just unintentional. Yeah, once again,
There you
all
go.
been there. We all do our little introductions with mine coming last. Not but a few seconds after introducing myself, T speaks up, requesting an appraisal from the GM. The GM asks him what he means, and T requests how much he could get for me on the market if he were to capture me and sell me as a slave. The entire call just went really quiet, and the GM stumbled on his words for a few moments, not really sure how to respond. In character, I asserted that myself, stating that I would sooner flay his arms off his body than simply be spoken to in such a manner. The GM attempted to steer the conversation away, T simply asserting then that making a knowledge check to what value I could bring. The GM simply said, likely in hopes of deterring the conversation anymore by saying, "You wouldn't get much. The city you're going to doesn't really do slavery and there is no such market for it in the first place." I get the intent here, but the ick it was giving me was getting really, really bad. Yeah, no shit.
Jesus.
The other two players started to try and change the subject entirely, discussing the guild we were all going to potentially join. I turned my attention to them, hoping to avoid T for a bit and the literal awkward hurricane that they were bringing. 2 minutes into our chat about the guild, T pipes up once more. "Can I roll for something?"
Ugh.
The GM nodded and asked what for. T then, without much concern, asked if it was possible for him to roll to essay my character.
What are you talking about?
I hadn't had many requests or safety tools that I had asked to be in the first place when I joined. The only one that I had actually asked my GM was to avoid was SA or anything related to it. Keep in mind, these were all things that we had been briefed on before the game had actually started. I was just at a loss here. I hadn't said 2 words to this guy at this point, and he kept driving home, selling my PC to slavery and trying to do vile-ass stuff to him. The GM, only half an hour into play, ended up telling us all to take 15 minutes break while he handled it. I at least appreciated the effort to help me cool down and recoup from this mess, but a part of me was just losing interest in even playing at all. No fucking shit,
Of
by
course
the
you
way.
were.
After the 15-minute break, we recouped and accepted a mission from the town that we entered. We ended up being sent into the dungeon that contained a ton of plant-like enemies and creatures, some of which were plant humanoids. An hour or 2 into combat, T started up with his requests to essay some of the creatures in the dungeon, and I just gave up.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Could you be any more transparent about what the fuck you want?
What? Why? Are you just coming to D&D to just essay people?
Obviously.
But do you not understand that makes you look really fucking weird?
And do you not understand that there's another human being at the other side of this?
Even the dungeon master who's on the other side of the NPCs that you're trying to do it to.
Well, exactly.
What is wrong? You do realize that's a criminal offense.
Yeah.
You do realize that is jail-worthy shit, and you're just asking to do it over and over and over again. What are you trying to achieve?
And the thing is, it's one of two things, isn't it? It's funny, innit? You're a fucking predator, and you need to either get help or go the fuck to jail.
Yeah.
You need to either help yourself or get help.
Yeah, you
into
either
the
think
fucking back of a cell.
I hope to God you think it's funny.
Yeah, but and again,
I hope you think it's that other than the other thing.
Yeah, what
Neither are good.
What kind of fucking person thinks this shit is fucking funny anyway? Obviously this time, but
wow.
I just gave up. I told the group, I'm really sorry, it's just not funny. I don't have any interest in playing this game anymore. And I hung up and I left the group. And I haven't spoken to a single one of them since. Probably one of the worst experiences I have ever had in my life in D&D. But a good twist is that Moonweaver's design has been repurposed into a different campaign. He is now the troop leader of a circus that is going to be the soon home base of one of my parties. And I'm so excited for everyone to meet him and get to know the true, wacky, and crazy Moonweaver. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry most of it was pretty awful and trash, and I hope people can learn a little from me. If it smells wrong and feels wrong, it's got to be wrong. Follow your gut and ditch the pestilent vibes.
Yeah.
Very well said, DMV.
Jeez.
So incredibly well said.
Jeez Louise.
And, you know, I say it every single time. Add it to the fucking list.
Yeah.
Add it to the list of all these stories where someone has gone in and their character is immediately, like, for no reason. And I feel like people are always, like, looking for an excuse, right? People always like, oh, well, it must be because they were like an escort character. Oh, it must have been because they were a female presenting character. And it's like, no. Moonweaver was just in a circus. Yeah. And it was nothing to do with Moonweaver. It was all to do with this fucking freak of a human being.
Like, why is the first thing that you say to a new person that you've just met and a new party member, how much could I sell you for if I was to capture and take you as a slave? Like why is that the first thing you say?
What kind of, like, socially fucked are you to do that?
Yeah.
How, like, not just socially, how fucked are you to do that? What a...
And then to say, basically just ask the DM if I can essay your character.
Yeah, like...
Can I roll to see if I can do it? It's like...
What does that...
What part of you thinks that that's an okay question to ask?
What does that even look like? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I understand this is, like, this was an online game, but... What does that look like?
I don't know.
Like, how do people sit there? And you know what? I understand fully that your DM was shocked and everyone was shocked and trying to steer the conversation away. But I will say, if you're privy to something like this, call it out.
You just need to call it out.
Because everyone's thinking the same thing you are.
Yeah.
And not everyone is capable of saying something.
Yeah, it's tough.
It takes
tough.
One person to say something.
And, like, you know, I'm not gonna, like, the thing is for a dungeon master, if somebody says something like this and the dungeon master looks a little bit flabbergasted, it's probably because it's on them. Mostly, a lot of people would think it's on them to figure out. And, like, you don't expect that shit.
No,
you don't expect.
Oh my
that to
god,
happen.
Of course not.
And you've got to just sort of react to it in the moment.
Yeah,
you're like, you can Brandon it, but you know, Brandoning it is like. Brandon obviously knew exactly how to deal with that situation.
Because Brandon was a trained teacher and he'd been trained in conflict management this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Brandon's the gold standard for a reason.
Gold standard, yeah.
Right?
Like, yeah, you just need to, in that moment where something like this happens, you just need to be able to stop and think, this isn't right, I'm going to say something.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you got to remember that, like, it's not, you saying something isn't the problem.
No, God,
the problem is brought by the person doing this in the first place.
And you're all sat there and you're all uncomfortable. DMV said it perfect. If it smells wrong, if it feels wrong, it's probably wrong. Follow your gut. If something feels bad like that and you can tell everyone else is feeling it, say something and people will back you up and will agree with you.
Like, most of you, fingers crossed, a lot of you won't deal with a sick motherfucker like this.
I hope not.
Like, who just is so brazen to ask two of the most heinous fucking questions I think I've ever heard be asked.
Yeah, this person is definitely in the minority.
This
100%.
person is a fucking
freak of nature. Absolute freak of nature.
This is fucking wild.
Like, congealed in a jar, like the bottom of the barrel.
Bring up slavery and fucking selling people to a slave trade.
Shut up.
And then to bring up SA, all within like the first like fucking 10, 15 minutes.
That tells you everything, doesn't it? That tells you everything you need to know.
And
Shut up.
You did the exact right thing.
Yeah.
Just quitting the call and being like, I'm not dealing with this. This ain't funny at all. Because it isn't funny.
Yeah. And like, it's hard to take yourself out of this situation.
Like, if you think this is the only way to be funny, first of all, you are
the
most unfunny motherfucker
boringest,
on earth.
Yeah.
You need to fucking check yourself because that shit isn't funny at all. And if that's the only way you think you can get a laugh, and if somebody laughs at this, they're just as fucking bad.
Then you need help.
You are you need fucking help.
Then you need help.
Like, there ain't any other way to put it. You need fucking help, you fucking freak.
Ugh.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, DMV. That's so
Jesus
terrible. And
Christ.
I'm so glad it ended up working out. And it goes to show, and I feel like it's so common for people to be like, why did this happen to me? Like, did I deserve this?
No.
Like, was it my character? And we've seen it before. Do you remember there was a horror story sent in about someone who had a mute character who didn't speak, and they were tortured.
It's like, was it my fault for making the mute character? No.
But you think it's easy to think like that because, like, the world makes you feel like that.
Yeah,
and these people make you feel like that.
It's my fault because I did X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, because people just shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
and then the mute character got put into a different campaign. Everyone loved them.
Yeah.
Loved them, adored them.
Because it's a great character quirk. And they weren't even mute because they talked through the pseudo dragon.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
exactly.
God.
And it's going to be a similar thing with Moonweaver.
Like,
Moonweaver's finally going to have their chance to shine, and it's going to feel amazing.
If something like this happens to you, all the words you need to remember are, what are your intentions with that?
Yeah, what are your intentions with that?
Because it puts these fucking losers on the spot.
Yeah.
And they basically have to say it out loud, their horrific intentions.
It's kind of almost like holding a mirror up to them, right? It's being like, look at yourself. Look at what you're saying. What are you doing?
They'll be like, oh, because I'm going to be... And he's like, why?
Because it's funny. Why do you think it's funny?
Why?
Like,
and you just ask them. Because as soon as they have to out themselves, it makes it so much worse.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Why is that funny?
Why is that funny, sorry?
Yeah. Oh, let's move the fuck on because that's pissed me off.
That was necrosis. That was rotting vibes.
Oh my god, that was like in a crypt, in a pyramid under the ground.
Yeah.
Like that's disintegrated into nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
That is fucking. That's probably one of the worst.
Oh, that's so bad.
To not even like even attempt to hide it. To just be as brazen and as fucking brash as being that weird and that much of a fucking freak and a loser. Ooh.
Right, how is everyone doing? How is everyone doing?
Drink.
How are we? How are we doing?
Drink.
Jesus Christ, Jesus.
I'm so glad there's a wholesome next.
I'm so glad that there is a wholesome next. This is a good one. So, this wholesome story. This has been sent in by Barney, and his pronouns are he, him. His TikTok handle is Barney2509 on TikTok. I will, of course, leave that below.
Hit up Barney2509 with some follows.
Thank you so much, Barney.
All of that good stuff.
And the title is How My Online Game Saved My Life, Literally. I'll try to make this quick. So I've only been playing D&D for about 2.5 years.
Okay, let's just take a minute.
I'm riled up.
Let's just take a second.
My jimmies are rustled.
You just calm yourself. We're good.
Yeah. 2 of my friends, who are like brothers to me now, and one of which is our forever DM. I'll just call them PC and DM, and we have a campaign where we basically jumped in and out, because most of our group is in the military. Like now when our DM is deployed. So about 9 months ago, due to personal and professional factors, I had a big decline in my health, in brackets, PTSD from some deployments in the military. I'm sorry, Barney. And for some reasons, to add to the long list, I fell into a deep depression. And everything I tried just made it worse. I would go to work, come home, eat, sleep, repeat. No social interaction other than co-workers who I don't really enjoy. And it was like I was in a dark room with no lights.
I'm sorry.
This went on for a few months until I was in a video call with my PC and DM, who could tell just by looking at me that I was not okay. They set up a Discord for me, told me how to use it, started showing me different sites, because I'm not really that tech savvy, lol, and helped me find online D&D. So I tried group after group. I would leave them. I just didn't feel like I could fit into the groups, whether it was play style, role play, or just the people. And needless to say, it wasn't helping. That feeling of hopelessness started creeping back up. Then I found my current online game. Now the campaign had already started and I was joining at session 4. No big deal. So my online DM, ODM, gave me the rundown and off I went. I was terrified of that first session, which looking back was dumb. The group and the ODM welcomed me with open arms and just made me feel welcome and warm. And after the first session, ODM asked how I felt and if I wanted to stay, and I said yes. A few sessions later, I started to relax more. My spirits were lifting, like the roof was torn off that dark room and the sun was coming out a bit. This was it. I found a game that I'm going to play and a group I can play with. Now fast forward to now. I'm in therapy and I'm working on myself. I am still in that same game. We play every Sunday and I couldn't be happier. We laugh, we joke, we make fun. It's awesome. In fact, I just had my first in-game real character death, an elf fighter, whose corpse is now in a magical snow globe, lol. And I'm now re-rolling a dwarf cleric of the Tempest named Beltrax to get right back into the campaign. And ODM even gave me a choice of a free rare item with a few exceptions. This Sunday will be the debut of Beltrax, and I am stoked. If it wasn't for this group, I don't think I would still be here, and I am forever grateful to them. And if you're wondering what the item I took was, it is the Ring of Spell Storing. Thanks for reading. I love you guys and all the content and the space you've created. Thank you. Thank you, Barney. What a wonderful
We
story.
love you too, Barney. And everybody in this community loves you as well.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful story.
Like, good on you as well for, like, getting yourself in therapy. And it's so fucking tough to push through that, like, that time. Like, and, you know, me just saying it now, we probably wouldn't even touch on the fight that you've been through.
Yeah,
because,
agreed.
Jesus fucking Christ, it is hard. Like, we've all had rough times.
Yep.
And we've all just wanted to, like, be through it and be on the other side of it.
Yep.
And the fact that you're there now is amazing. And the fact that you've got something to look forward to every week is amazing. And your friends, like, to just be able to look at you and be like,
if your friends
what's going on?
Your friends to recognize that you're not okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that is one of the biggest parts of the battle,
100%.
right? Is actually being like, yeah, I'm not okay. And sometimes you need someone to step in for you.
Yeah.
You need someone to intervene and be like,
Are you okay?
yeah, like, look, all right. Not even to say, are you okay? Because the knee-jerk reaction is to be like, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
For someone to go,
You're not
okay,
okay.
you're not
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to do this for you. And just to do it for you.
And
Like,
anything. Like, just to even set up Discord so you could play online D&D. Little things like that just go a million miles.
totally.
Like,
And-
that friend setting up, you've said it yourself. Your friend setting up Discord for you on your PC has literally ended up saving your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just like tiny little things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think this is why when we hear stories like the fucking one before, like, you see the other side of it and you see how important it is to people, how it saves people's life. I know, Barney, you're not like an isolated story.
no,
like, I know
absolutely not. And you're not
so
alone.
many
Yeah.
people who have had, like, at the very least, life-changing experiences from D&D.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anyone says. D&D is a form of working through shit without having to work through shit if you want it to be.
Yeah.
And it's such an important, powerful thing. And it's an important, powerful thing to us, you know. I don't want to get too much into it, but D&D came to us in a similar way. It
Yeah.
was a similar situation. And my friend Matthew was like, hey, how about we try this?
Literally at like a moment where we needed it more than anything.
Yeah. He said, we should hang out more.
We should try and do this.
Yeah.
And we did, and that's, you know, literally the reason we play D&D today.
And now we see our friends every single week,
Yeah.
which you don't
You
realize.
don't realise, yeah.
And yes, and I hate the argument of, oh, well, it's online friends. So
Who cares?
online friends are just
Online
as
friends are
real.
just
Like,
as legitimate.
Our online friends,
Yeah.
our online friends, and you know, the ones we also play D&D with and who we hang out with, like, I class them just as much friends as any of my other friends. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important, and that's why it's important to keep the space safe. What did I say?
Same thing, isn't it?
This is why it's important.
Yeah.
To make sure everyone is safe and welcomed and supported and comfortable. Because if not, what would have happened? What would have happened here?
Well, yeah. The worst thing that could have possibly.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, the fact that you're still with us, Barney, is just an amazing thing.
Exactly.
It's just a beautiful thing. And that's the greatest outcome that anyone could have ever imagined.
And it's an honor that you shared your story with us.
Yeah, it's an honor.
And
like,
you watch us and you support us, and thank you. And we're so glad you're here.
We're just as privileged to have you as you are to have this podcast, and we are to have this community.
Truly.
Like, we do this, you know, not just because we want to make. Fucking hell, if I wanted to make it big on YouTube, I wouldn't have picked a Dungeons and Dragons podcast talking about stories like that. You know, we've made it because, like, you want. It's mad because sometimes, you know, this podcast is a lot.
Mhm.
Like, it takes a lot of our time.
Mhm.
It's, you know, this is we sit down and we film for like an hour and a half, but it's like 4 hours of like setting up and then breaking down, and then we've got to edit it, then we've got to do the TikToks and everything like that. Thumbnails. It's a long time, and sometimes you're like, got to do a podcast today. But then you hear stories like this.
I know.
And then we hear stories and people tell us like,
And we get comments. We get comments regularly from people. Even in like some of the very first videos we ever did, where we made our stance very clear on who we are and what we stand for and who you are and what space we want for you. People even then saying like, thank you, which is wild.
It's wild. And like, it makes every inconvenience.
Yeah,
any small
yeah.
inconvenience
It does.
just not matter.
It does.
Like,
Reading stories like this, and it's, I think sometimes, you know, you read the comments and you obviously don't see what's behind a comment, right? You
Yeah.
don't see everything, but when you hear it laid out like this, like it's really important.
It is. It's so important.
And that's why it's so important to us.
And-
And that's why any fucking hateful pieces of shit. This is why we go on about it so much. Because you have to be safe.
Because, like, imagine if Barney went to a game and it was like, and this was like the chance. This was the thing.
This
that
was the
I need
last
this to-
hinging thing.
This was the thing that I need to bring me out of this moment. This potentially inevitable thing that I'm going to do.
And you met a fucking
And you met
asshole
a
like in
fucking
DMV story.
asshole like that,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, I'm not playing this game.
Yeah.
And then the fucking worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why are we making spaces that are so fucking toxic that are driving people away from something that they love?
Yeah.
But
And if anyone hears this and anyone is like, oh, it's not that deep, shut the fuck up and get the fuck out
off,
of
man.
here.
We don't want you here.
Shut up. You don't get
belong.
it.
You don't belong in the Eldritch Podblast.
Yeah,
you don't
fucking
belong
get
here.
it.
You just don't get it. So just
Yeah.
unsubscribe and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because we don't care. But like anybody who is feeling like this, anybody who is like down, anybody who is at like the bottom of the barrel and, potentially on the cusp of doing something that, is life ending, just know that we are all here for you and there is a way out. And it could just be something as simple as getting online and playing with a bunch of people who are like-minded to you. It might be something just like thinking, you know what, I am going to go to therapy and I am going to get some help.
Totally.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I know the stigma of that fucking bullshit's gone, but I know that some people
Still
think
like
that fucking stupid bullshit. But you are welcome here. We love you here. And trust me, like, it's so cliche. It's so cliche to say, but it will be over.
Yeah.
Like, it will end.
It will.
You won't be sad. You won't be depressed your entire life. It will end.
Yeah, it will.
You just need to find
Yeah.
out what's going to pull you out of it.
And if you're watching this and you have a friend who you know is going through it, someone who you suspect is not doing well, just check in on your friends.
Just let them know that you're there. And
Check
you
in on
fucking,
them.
You want to do something. You want to hang out.
Yeah,
or something.
don't
Spend some
ask
time.
them as well. Tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them. Like,
I know you haven't been okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
yeah, let's do this.
Let's do
Here,
this.
I'm doing this for you.
Let's fucking play a game of D&D.
Yeah.
Let's get a coffee.
Yeah,
Let's
definitely.
fucking start a campaign.
What coffee do you like? We'll go get one.
Yeah.
Like,
let's run a one shot. Let's have you something for you to look forward to. Let's do it.
Support your friends.
Support your friends.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much, Barney, for that
Thank you for sharing that
story.
story.
Thank you so much.
It's really, really fucking brave of you to
Yeah.
share that story
It
because
is.
it's not a fucking easy thing.
Mm.
Even if you passed it, it's still not an easy thing to talk about at all.
Yeah, agreed. Well, onto a horror. It's this one that always feels like shit coming off the back of a wholesome one.
Coming off the back of the first wholesome.
Oh man! All right, so this is horror number 2, and this has been sent in by Jane, and they've left no pronouns, so we'll just refer to them as they them. Hello, my name is Jane, and I have a story from my first and really only time playing D&D. It was my senior year of college, and I was invited to a D&D campaign with some people I sort of knew. I was playing as a turtle cleric named Nortle the Turtle. Imagine Master Oogway vibes.
Nortle the Turtle. Nicolai. Sorry, John.
The party had already played a session or two, and they were doing XP leveling, so I was a level behind. A few sessions went by, and I wasn't really having a lot of fun, and I didn't feel that welcomed, to be honest. But despite that, I decided to try doing a voice for my character. So out of the blue, I started talking like an old man, and they all immediately gave me that look. I felt so embarrassed, I stopped doing the voice, and I even stopped going to the weekly sessions. I think I made some excuse up about being too busy with school. I don't know, did I jump the boat too early? Should I have just done something different? And how can I be sure I'm with the right group to begin with? Thank you. I love the pod, but mostly the talks. Thank you, Jane.
We love you.
Oh, Jane.
Like, remember earlier, it was basically the exact same thing that we said. Remember earlier when we were like, was it me? Was it me? Like,
Yes. Yeah,
I made
yeah,
my
yeah.
character mute. Was it my fault?
Yeah, being like...
I did an old man voice. Was it my fault?
Yeah,
No.
No. Man, listen, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all done something that we're unsure of, or that we're trying for the first time. Like, I'm not just talking about D&D, where like you do it and you get the look.
Yeah.
And we all know the look and we all know the feeling. And it's horrible. And I'm sorry, Jane.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, yes, obviously this weren't the right group. You even said you didn't feel
weren't
very
feeling it,
welcomed.
yeah.
Like, you were a level behind and they didn't really
Yeah.
welcome you very well. So you were not in the right group.
No, you weren't. Because it feels, when you're in the right group, it feels right.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Like,
You feel it.
I wonder if, like, were the others doing voices and stuff as well? Were you just bored and you just wanted to try it? Like, this is something similar that I did with my first, pardon me, my first character, Beloved. I didn't have a voice for the longest time. And then one day I was like, I'm going to do a fucking voice. And I did.
Yeah.
And obviously no one cared.
Yeah. Like, when we actually started to dig deep into the role play, like, I was like, I'm changing my voice.
Yeah.
And I changed my voice for my first character.
Yeah.
And nobody was like,
Ugh. Yeah. Like, that, the look.
the look.
Yeah, the like, the look. Oh, man, I hate the look.
The look.
No, you didn't jump the boat too early. Like DMV said, in your gut,
Yeah. If it smells wrong, if it looks wrong, if it feels wrong,
it's wrong.
probably because
Yeah,
it's wrong.
definitely.
Probably because it's wrong.
And the best advice, I know this isn't advice, but you say here, like, how can I make sure I'm with the right group? Session 0.
Session 0.
Session 0. And even then, you're not going to know.
Session 0 is probably less about. It's good to get like your safety tools.
Yep.
Figure out any homebrew rules.
Yep.
Figure out how it's all done. But most of all, it's best for a vibe check.
Vibe check. Definitely.
Check. Just like try and like just chat with the other people.
Yep.
If it feels like horrible and awkward and like nobody wants to talk to each other and stuff like
Yep.
that, and that's not what you want, then
Then yeah.
But if you're like bouncing off each other and you're having a laugh and you're having a giggle
Yeah,
and you're having
yeah.
a good time, then you're like, okay.
Yeah, and like, you can ask things at session 0, like, do we do character voices?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
are
yeah,
people
yeah.
okay with character voices?
The amount of times where we've gone to play with the new group and we've been like, are we doing a character voice?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people are like, some people don't find it that important, but they're like, you can do one though.
Yeah,
like, don't
yeah,
worry about
exactly,
it.
Exactly.
Like, I'll always do a character voice purely because
Yeah, me too.
it just allows me to distinguish at the table who I'm talking as.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
That's
That's the
mostly
only reason.
why I
That's
use it.
that's the reason I do it as well. So it's obvious what's me and what's my character.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Jane.
That sucks.
That sucks.
That sucks.
That
Because
really
like trying
sucks.
something that you're maybe not massively confident in and then getting the look and the stink eye
I know.
makes you feel so shit.
And listen, I would have done the same. I would have died on the spot.
Yeah.
I would have never come back.
Yeah.
Never. But that's the best thing I can say. Session 0, catch the vibe. Again, session 0, you still might not know because I'm a firm believer of you never really know until you actually get into game and you actually play.
You can get a good indicator though.
Indeed. I hope that helps and thank you for your story and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Not all the talk.
Not all the talk with the old man voice. But look, you can probably do that exact same voice at another table and not get a single look.
Exactly.
Because people will just be comfortable with the voices
like
and stuff.
you do at our table, no one.
Literally.
Josh, his voice. Ooh. And granted, we piss ourselves every single time. Are we the baddies?
We're the terrible people.
Are we the baddies?
We are the terrible people.
Oh, thank you so much, Jane.
All right. Cheers, Jen.
Oh, all right. This next. Oh, this is a wholesome one.
This is wholesome.
This next wholesome one. This has been sent in by Colleen, and the pronouns are he, she, they.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen.
Hello, Colleen here, he, she, they. You read a wholesome story I sent in about my first character, Naori. And I have another one to send you in today.
I remember Naori Tesson.
Naori Tesson, exactly.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Colleen. And thank you for your original story.
Very
and thank
cool
you for this
name.
one. I know, yeah.
I obviously
Naori.
remembered it.
Yeah, well, yeah, same. I read it and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly that.
This is a long one, but it's a nice one. This summer, I ran a mini campaign for our group so our forever DM could have a break while he planned our campaign too. Why can't I read? What's going on? A little context because we play in a homebrew world. Very basically, there is an original type of magic in the world based around these things called refraction crystals. And I wanted to tell the story of the adventuring party that discovered that magic and brought it into the world. It was sort of an Atlantis, the Lost Empire type story, where the party descended into a salt mine and discovered an ancient buried city made out of a mysterious and seemingly sentient crystal. The party, consisting of a charming but heartbroken fighter, a wise but lonesome druid, and a brilliant but naive young wizard, made their way through the incredible dangers, puzzles, mysteries, and magic until the faux climax. A beholder TPK'd the party. This was intentional, not that my players knew, of course. It was a leap of faith. The fighter bound himself to the Crystal City, gaining enough power to come back from the dead and save the party, but effectively shackling himself permanently to the place. They didn't have the diamonds for a revivify, so the druid and the fighter both sacrificed part of themselves and their deepest held memories to make sure the wizard could get out. They both took on the roles of parents to the boy since he was only about 18. Later, they learned that the BBEG was the druid's mother. It was looking like a self-sacrificing type ending, but in a series of incredibly lucky rolls, some spectacular roleplay moments, and just some truly buck-wild character choices, the BBEG managed to break her bonds to the city, thus freeing the fighter too, and help the party instead of having to be killed. Somehow, against every single odd, the party not only all survived, but saved the druid's mother who had been trapped for centuries. My players made some absolutely incredible decisions through the course of this campaign, surprising me, gutting me, making me laugh, and making me proud. They were deep, honest, emotional moments that had us all in tears. Hilarious hijinks that had us laughing so hard we needed to take a walk to calm down.
What was last night?
Yeah. Shocking turns of events that had me scrambling to rewrite because they zigged when I expected them to zag. But most importantly, there was just a huge amount of trust at the table. I was terrified to do the TPK. A huge amount of trust at the table. People could be vulnerable and brave and true to their characters, and they supported and trusted me as the DM, even when I threw them impossible fights, difficult choices, and heartbreaking twists at them. I was terrified to do the TPK, not sure how they would respond, and even though I knew that it wasn't permanent, but they outthought even my plan for that and surprised me, trusted me, and thanked me for the challenge. As someone who often feels on the outside looking in, I can't begin to describe how wonderfully appreciated that made me feel. In the end, they managed to find the happiest possible ending they could have found. The druid got her mother back, the fighter raised a family, and the wizard went on to become an archmage of this crystal magic and dunamancy, thus officially bringing those spells into the world canonically. Our final session lasted for 14 hours and ended literally with the characters walking off into the sunset. It was a marathon that exhausted me for a week, but worth every moment. I want the folks listening to know that, even though that there are so many horror stories out there, that this kind of table exists too. Kind, wonderful, creative people who love and support each other and make this game one of the single best things you can spend your time doing. So go find your people, go find your table, and go on your adventure. It is so worth it.
And there you go. And that's the end of the Eldritch Podblast.
What a wonderful story.
What a great story.
Oh, what a beautiful story, Colleen.
Like, I know it's a privilege to be able to see a campaign to the end because a lot of us don't get to do that because of a gazillion different reasons. But you know, when something does finally end and the characters get what they wanted the whole time, you know, like you think of a backstory because most of the time you want to see it to conclusion.
Yeah.
You write in a lost parent because you want to find them.
Yeah.
You write in a wizard who wants all the knowledge so you can gain it. And when you finally get those things at the end and everybody walks away from the table having overcome or completed those like challenges that they've set out, man, does it feel fucking good.
Yeah, it does. It's like an unparalleled feeling.
It
really.
is, yeah.
And again, this ties back into what I said about the other wholesome story. This is why it's so important. This is why D&D is so important. It means so much to people.
Yeah.
Like Colleen said it best, despite all the fucking bullshit, because there is a lot of bullshit.
There is an unfathomable amount of bullshit.
Yeah. There's also the amazing parts of it, like the finding a group and becoming close with a group of friends and gaining new lifelong friends and exploring parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed and having fun in ways you didn't think you could.
And like those, like the trust, like the CPK trust, those nights where you have something planned, but fuck me, it gets flipped on its head by a wild character decision. Or just a unbelievable set of roles.
Yeah.
And it's just like a moment that you literally all stood around the table, like with your head in your hands, like, what is going on?
Yeah. And those are the moments you'll remember
forever.
Like all of these players and you, Colleen, will remember this forever.
Yeah.
And well done to you for being such a wonderful DM that, first of all, your players can trust you.
Yeah.
Like, your players have that faith in you,
Yeah.
and your players sound like amazing players that you trust them too. Like, this is the other side of it. And this is why it's so worth trudging through the shit
Yeah, 100%.
to be able to get to this. And we were lucky.
Yeah, we were lucky.
We had this immediately.
Like,
this was something. I remember the end of our very first campaign that Matthew ran for us. I will always remember it, and how much we all cried and sat and rejoiced, and we did it.
We
and,
did it. We got to the end of a D&D campaign.
We got to the end of a D&D campaign, and it felt amazing. And, you know, I will always remember the end of yours, and I'll remember those characters.
Yeah.
This is why D&D is so important.
This is why it's so great.
It's so great.
And like you said, like, it's cathartic.
It is.
To get to the end with that character who survived the whole time and have completed that goal that they always wanted. It's just like a moment of like, I did it.
Yeah, I did it.
I did it. Like, it's like an achievement.
It is an achievement.
It's
It
insane.
is.
Like, there isn't many feelings that parallel it, in my opinion.
No, it's very strange because it's kind of like watching yourself in 10 times speed, like,
go through life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a really weird, because obviously, you know, you have to separate yourself from your character, but your character is you and you are them.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think, like, because it's weird, like, let's just say you play a game and you play it for a month straight and you finish it and it's like, wow, it was a great month. But it's like, these things can take years. And like, when you get to the end, like, you will feel like you've lost something, which will be sad. But also at the same time, like, you've just gone through an entire year and you've come to the end of this like journey, adventure, module, whatever it is. And you finished it.
With your friends.
And that's why it feels huge, because it's not just like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like, it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a campaign.
Yeah.
It's a fucking long-term commitment.
Yeah. And, you know, not everyone wants this out of D&D.
Yeah.
And that is
It's fine.
completely fine and valid and normal. Not everyone wants this, right? But if you do, it's there. If you don't, Colleen said it best. There was moments we were laughing so fucking much we had to go and take a walk.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There are so many positives from D&D.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been literally afflicted with any of these things in these fucking awful horror stories, just know there's a table for you. You will find it. You're not the problem. You'll get there. So thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen. What a fantastic story. What a great
absolutely beautiful story.
Man, we're getting the fucking best of both worlds.
We are. Well,
we're getting the worst of the worst and the best of the best.
Well, speaking of worst of the worst,
let's go.
Here we go.
Prepare yourself.
Let's
strap in.
Yep.
You buckled?
Yep.
You buckle up, bitch.
This is horror story.
This is the horror story.
Oh, all right. Horror story.
Hit me.
This has been sent in by Spencer, and his pronouns are he, him.
Thank you, Spencer,
Thank
for
you,
your
Spencer.
submission.
And the title is Petty DM Drives Away a Dozen Players.
Great.
I'm fairly new to the D&D scene, and this was my first game.
Great.
I played online. It was great until it wasn't. The problem was that our DM would go to the Discord server and talk about how horrible, stupid, or annoying a player was whenever they would leave.
Wow.
In brackets, which happened quite often due to scheduling issues or not wanting to play strictly rules as written. He even kicked someone because their voice was annoying. The player was non-binary and had an androgynous voice. He would often set up scenes in Roll20 of a character being killed/shamed after the player leaves and shares it to the group.
Wow.
Are you like
That's great.
4 years old? Are you like what?
Oh my god, these are the worst.
Long story short, everyone got tired of it and left.
Good.
I stayed because I genuinely had a good time in game. I reached out to my DM to try and kindly let him know what may have been causing everyone to leave, and he got upset.
And then he killed me, shamed me, and kicked me out.
Funny you say that.
You say that. Interesting.
Using Roll20, he set up my character to be killed by the dragon I had been raising from an egg. He then killed the dragon in cold blood, and then had my own in-game love interest weep over my character's dead body. He shared all of this with me and kicked me from the server and the game. It was a heartbreaking experience, but now I'm trying to start a new group with the players who had also left.
Like,
Spencer.
Tell me, you can't take an ounce of criticism.
Oh my God. Oh
you
my
can't take
God.
an iota, a fraction of criticism.
Tell me you have a God complex.
Tell me.
Tell me
You
you're
are
14 years old.
14 years
Like,
old.
what
Max.
the fuck? Oh, maximum.
Maximum.
What the fuck?
The fuck
you know,
is
you know
wrong
when,
with people,
and you know
man?
when someone's
Jesus.
like, people keep leaving my game. Oh my God, why do people keep
Somebody in
leaving
my
my
place is
game?
just like, oh, why? Well,
Oh God, there's always
Go on.
so much drama.
I bet you when somebody asks you why people leave your game, you don't
You're-
tell.
you're-
You've
no.
never told the truth.
No, I bet you're like, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why.
They just seem to not like it for some
people just
reason.
leave. You like this.
I
like,
tried to tell the dungeon master politely
Yeah.
why I think the other people left.
and I stayed. I'm the only one
Yeah,
who stayed.
I stayed.
And I politely was like, yeah, it might be this. What a loser.
What was the name?
Spencer.
Spencer. You've raised this dragon since a child. For some reason
From
today,
an egg, you hatched it
For some
yourself.
reason today, it's got hatred in its eyes. It turns around and rips your head off.
Yeah.
As it rips your head off, all
Yeah,
of the guards
yeah.
come over and stab that dragon that you've loved dearly.
Yeah, they eat the dragon in front of you.
They eat the dragon as out of the crowd of people that have gathered.
Yeah.
Your love interest.
Yeah,
begins to walk through,
your final dying
drops to her knees
Yeah.
and begins to weep as the tears roll down her face and land on your dead body. You are kicked out of the Discord server.
You don't even get that.
Goodbye.
You just get the budung of you leaving the Discord call and being kicked. Man, that's just lame as fuck. On a serious note, though, Spencer, I'm sorry.
I'm
obviously
sorry,
sucks.
but fuck me, am I glad for
Yeah.
you?
Oh my God.
that you're out.
Listen, I know you didn't want to leave. Thank God. Thank
left.
God your hand was forced.
Thank God you're gone.
And if Spencer, if you can put up with that, I'm absolutely certain the new group you're starting going to be wonderful.
It's gonna be great.
Because you're not going to have a freak of nature.
You're not gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Because
You're not.
you can clearly tolerate a lot.
Yeah, you must have thick skin, Spencer. Man, if that, I wouldn't touch that with a badge,
Oh
Paul.
my God, yeah.
No way. Well, thank you, Spencer.
Shamed and killed.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, these people all seem to be getting along. Why do you think, as a dungeon master, it's a good idea to, when you've arbitrarily kicked them out, to just make a display of them?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
Do you think that they all hate them too? Are you like just? Are you blind?
Yeah, and it's like who the fuck do you think
Are
you
you
are?
emotionally just not there in the slightest?
Like who do you think you are to be like? That is like absolutely like a god complex. Being
yeah.
like to name and shame them, to feel so entitled
To
to
make
be
up
able to do that.
scenarios?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
man, you like tell me you enjoy making people miserable.
Miserable.
Tell me you love the drama. Oh my God, tell me you love the
live
drama.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
You live for the drama.
I'm sorry, Spencer. I hope
I'm sorry, Spencer.
I know that your next group's gonna be fine.
Your next week's gonna be great.
Yeah.
You have a great time.
Thank you very much, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
All right.
Sorry, Spencer.
Spencer. This is the next wholesome story. So this has been sent in by Jae-rat, and her pronouns are she, her.
She is Jae-rat.
Thank you so much, Jae-rat.
for your submission.
Thank you. So I don't want to jinx it, but I think I found my long-term party.
And there it is.
I started playing D&D a year ago, and I quickly found myself getting addicted to this wonderful game and seeking out every opportunity I could to play. We've all been
We've been there. Everyone's been there.
Yep. I used to play Adventurers League games until one day I stumbled upon a post looking for players for a one-shot, and the location was super near to my place, so it felt perfect. Safe to say that was the start of many amazing sessions to come. I've now been with my party for about 4 to 5 months, and I show up to every session excited as we all can be. We're all crazy in love with the game, and we play 12 to 18-hour sessions weekly.
Holy
yes,
shit.
in one day. We're always
that's
a lot of
D&D.
D&D. We're always staying back to talk about the session afterwards too. Our DM is also super amazing and communicates well with the party and is always happy to hear feedback. And as a party, we're constantly helping one another with builds and roleplay advice, etc. And despite being the last to join the party, who had already known each other for a long time, I feel extremely welcomed.
Awesome.
I've never felt like I belonged, but with this bunch, I feel right at home. It brings me so much joy when they message me outside of game to talk about D&D or Baldur's Gate 3 or characters and stuff like that. We're even talking about our campaigns 2 and 3, and we're not even halfway through 1. It makes me so happy to know that I'm considered in their long-term plans. Words alone could never explain just how much I love and cherish this group, and I believe that they'll be my long-term party, maybe even forever.
There we go.
I think so, Jae-rat.
Like,
I think so.
look at us all. Look at us all. I'm wearing a guilt trip top.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret's got loads of piercings and tattoos. Like, we aren't, especially when we were growing up.
Oh my god.
We weren't the normal people.
Nope.
We were the fucking emos, the moshers, the
Yeah.
alternative people, the fucking nerds.
Yeah.
God. And, like, we have never, ever really, growing up in a society that cares about fucking looking the hottest and going to the fucking gym load. You still go to the gym, that's fine. And, just like socially acceptable norms. Like, we've never really all fit into those.
Yeah.
So when you finally sit down at a table with a bunch of other fucking nerds who look like you and sound like you and like
Act
all the
like you.
and like all the fucking weird shit that you like, you sit there and you're like,
oh my god.
interesting.
Interesting.
This is where I should have been all
It
along.
was this easy all along.
It was these people I needed to talk to all
who
along.
knew that being alive was actually this easy?
Like, I've never felt more like at home in myself as I have when I played D&D.
Same.
And like when I was growing up, I liked like fucking Warhammer and World of Warcraft and loved fucking like fantasy and Lord of the Rings. But I never really truly knew that was what I liked. I just thought those were some things that I liked, but I also liked heavy metal and stuff like that. And then I like started playing D&D and I was like, it is fantasy I like.
Yeah.
It is like the sort of fantasy genre, the make believe that I love.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it feels homely.
It does.
Weirdly.
It does. It's like a comfort thing. It
feels
feels
it's a comfort thing.
like very comfortable. And the fact that especially our friends we play with in real life, we're very close to our friends.
Yeah.
And Matthew, I've known too long. I've known that man for too long.
Very long.
And you've known Josh since you were a literal child.
I've known Josh since I was 11 years old. And now I'm 29.
And I've known Matthew since I was 16, and I've known Abby since I was 18.
So,
So, do you know what I mean? Like, these are like lifelong friends.
I've known Josh for nearly 2 decades.
That's insane.
How mad's
That's
that?
absolutely
I've known
wild.
Josh longer than I've not known Josh.
That's absolutely
Weird,
wild. Yeah,
Weird,
that is
that.
absolutely wild. So, yeah, like, again, this just is proof. This is just
it.
proof that you can find your people and you can find your group.
You'll find your people.
You'll find your people.
Your people are there to be found.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're watching this and you felt like you've never belonged and you felt like you've really struggled with people and you haven't found your people and you just want to fit in, just know there's a whole group of us.
Yeah.
There's so many people exactly like you, and you just need to find them, and you will.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
It's full of fucking nerds. You don't even have to play a game. People are like, I've seen loads of people be like, I want to join the Discord, but I don't really want to play it.
There's a million billion different channels in
people
there.
Talk about cross stitching.
Yeah, people talk about
people talk about games, anime. People talk about anything. They're just a bunch of fucking nerds who can all just be together and know that you're gonna be safe.
Yeah, we have like in case you didn't know what we have in there, it obviously, yes, the looking for group system is a huge part of it, right?
Yeah.
But we have places where you can just talk about in real life stuff and real advice. You can talk about your D&D characters. You can show your characters off. You can talk about your homebrew items. You can talk about music you like, films you like.
Yeah.
You can find other people to play video games
Lots of games, other systems, Pathfinder, you can play whatever you want. It doesn't have to be Dungeons & Dragons. No one cares. It is literally just a place where you can all be safe as fucking nerds.
Yeah.
And know that no one's going to fucking grief you.
No one's going to judge you.
Yeah.
And if you're an artist, there's a huge, we're so lucky to have a huge
artists.
artist community, and there's a place where you can set up your own commissions. You can commission art, you can show off art, you can ask for advice.
Dice makers.
There's so much. There's so many things in our Discord.
And if you come in and you're like, oh, I do this really obscure thing that not that many people do, can we make a channel for it? Yeah.
Yes.
Of course we can.
Yes.
It's for you.
Yeah.
The Discord is for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me and Margaret. Me and Margaret are in there.
Yeah.
And, we host watch parties in there. and like now and then we'll like talk to some people and stuff like that. But it's for all of you.
Yeah, it's for you guys to feel safe.
There's 1,200 people in there, I think.
Yeah,
1,150 people in there. You will find somebody who likes the same shit as you.
Totally. And if nothing else, just know if you ever need to turn to somewhere, it's there.
It's there.
And listen, you have to be a certain type of person to listen to what we say and to want to join the Discord.
Yeah.
And you can at least have that solace in that. And we also have noticed quite a few people have been hanging out in the voice chats.
Yeah.
That is such an amazing thing to us. Like without us having to be in there, without us having to prompt people are just going. We have loads of voice channels.
Just hangout chats. Loads of chats for you to host your games in.
Just hang out and chill.
Hangouts, yeah. And like, you know, we all, I imagine, not everyone, but a lot of us all play loads of fucking video games.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to fucking go on your video game and just chat with people.
Yeah, you just want to stream your game.
Sometimes you want to go on fucking RuneScape, Iron Man the shit out of it, and
Yeah.
not fucking trade with anyone, and literally just sit there and fucking farm logs all day and talk to people.
Yeah. And you can do that.
That's
That is what it's there for.
That's
So
built for.
thank you for the people who have taken the leap and have started just going
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
hangout channels. Thank
100%.
you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I can see friendships forming.
Yeah.
We know that there's been so many D&D groups that have started and that are going amazingly. So
Yeah.
so it's there. If
It's
you ever
there.
need
It's
it,
there.
it's there. And if you just want to, it's there.
And what was the submission's name?
Sorry, this was Jae-rat.
Jae-rat.
Jae-rat is
Jae-rat. Well done.
yes. Well
And
done.
That's so amazing for you that you've just found your people.
I know.
Because, man, there's not much that feels better than finding your people.
Nope. Agreed. And to
These
find
are my people.
yeah, and that's all you need.
That's all you need.
All you need.
You don't really need much more in life.
Agreed.
As long as you've got something you enjoy with a bunch of people you enjoy doing it with, who fucking cares?
Agreed. Very much agreed.
So amazing, Jae-rat. Congratulations to
Thank you so much. All right. This next oh no, we're on a horror. This is the last horror though. To be fair, this is the last horror story. So should we just get into
Go
it?
for it.
So this has been sent in by Anonymous and they go by they them.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous, for your submission. Thank you.
I once played in a campaign where another player would constantly threaten any characters slash pets I got attached to. Let's call this player K.
Okay.
K was a chaotic evil warlock in a group of good aligned characters, and as such there was a lot of friction between him and the party. For example, him wanting to burn down a sacred forest that we were trying to defend, him blowing up houses for no reason, etc. He was a it's what my character would do kind of guy.
Nice.
Our DM was a very nice lady who I liked a lot, but frankly, she was a doormat. She never stepped in or did anything about any of this. One of Kay's favorite things to do in the world was find things that I liked and threaten to destroy or kill them. That's a
Nice.
really good
Nice.
way to have
Nice.
a good
Nice.
D&D party going. That's a great way to...
I'm probably jumping the gun here because there's probably a lot more story, but there is a way to play an evil character or an evil aligned character, and it is not just finding things that people like and trying to ruin them.
Yeah. That's kind of bottom of the list,
That is
honestly.
actually the complete wrong and shittest way to
Yeah,
play an
I
evil
think
character.
that's bottom 3.
That is bottom.
That's
You
pretty
are
bad.
just looking at someone, seeing somebody have a fun time at the table, or
Yeah.
like go to the shop
And be like, I'm going to
D&D,
kill it.
and they make good friends with like a half orc who's met another half orc, and there's not that many half orcs.
I'm going to kill him.
And this person makes a great connection, and you come out and you're like, oh great, did you enjoy that? And they're like, yeah, and he goes, good, I'm going to stab them. Like that is
That's good. That's a good way to make friends.
horrendous way to play D&D.
That's nice. That's
That's
nice.
actually not playing D&D at all.
For example, my party and me and my party, but mostly me, took a small ochre ooze to be our pet. We named him Jam, and he lived in a little jam jar in my pack.
Amazing.
Kay threatened Jam to no end. The most memorable being the time he asked what I would do if he stole the jar from me and threw it into the campfire. So Jam, my adorable, sweet little guy, would burn to death. Another time he threatened to cast an Eldritch Blast on Jam when he was hanging out on my shoulder. Obviously, this pissed me off to no end. Jam was my little buddy and I loved him like a son, and here was this asshole trying to threaten to blow him up for no good reason.
God, if somebody's just saying that to me, I don't think I'd be able to help myself. I'd probably turn and just be like, will you shut the fuck up?
I know. It like literally, if like, and like, I understand like a joke. For example, Scanlan and Trinket, right?
Yeah.
Like, but
yeah,
that's just a joke.
Yeah.
And like, if it ever went too far, it would have been stopped.
It was a joke, though.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. And it wasn't
joke.
so much like trying to kill. It was more like trying to just leave behind. Because look, Trinket was useless. Like old Beastmaster Ranger, pre changes to Beastmaster Ranger, the pet was fucking useless. So it just became a burden. So yeah, like I get it. But
like
you don't threaten to kill.
And that's something that's probably been discussed and agreed upon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't threaten to fucking kill. So things got tricky, however, because I was fairly certain he meant it as a joke. I'm autistic, and looking at Kay, my radar was going off, and I was pretty sure he was one of my fellows. I figured that he thought we were all laughing with him at his funny jokes. He seemed to think of me as a friend, waving hello if he ever saw me outside of a session, and made effort to talk to me, so I didn't think it was intentional. I'm generally pretty forgiving of people misreading social cues because, hey, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I strived to let Kay know that he was making me uncomfortable without making it accusing, as I didn't want to start trouble. I started dropping things like, I wish you wouldn't say that, and I don't find that funny. Please stop after his jokes.
That's pretty clear.
Yeah. Oh, that's very...
That's like really clear.
Yeah, saying...
I don't find that funny. Please stop.
Please stop. That's
like
you can't
as
get clearer
fucking
than that.
clear as it gets,
like,
I think.
And again, it doesn't have to be accusatory, right?
No.
But just saying, I don't find that funny. Please stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't be clearer than that. But he never seemed to pick on the fact that I was being serious, and he never stopped. Eventually, things came to a head when our party befriended a small kobold named Keen-Eye. I thought he was adorable, and we were best friends. Kay took this as a cue to threaten to dimension Keen-Eye into the sky and let him fall to his death. At this point, gone was my understanding and my forgiveness. I couldn't count on two hands the number of times he had said shit like this, and I was done. I was seething. Still, I tried to keep things civil. I told him that I didn't find his jokes funny, that they were all they were doing was making me, the player, mad at him, the player. Completely out of game, he was making me dislike him, and that if he kept it up, I would be leaving the table. And then he responded with, well, that's the point. I was gobsmacked. I looked to my DM, she looked back and didn't say anything.
Come on, DM, do something.
Needless to say, that was my last session with the group. It has been pointed out to me that it was probably something of, oh, well, I meant for that to happen kind of response, but honestly, I don't care. I hate that guy, and if I ever see him again, we're throwing down. Yeah, it's on site, bitch.
Let's go.
On site. Go on. Oh. On site.
We
Man.
do not condone physical violence on the Legend Podblast.
Man,
like-
you know what? It's so fucking sad, isn't it? Because it's like you're always giving this person the benefit of the doubt. Like all the way through this, OP is giving them the benefit of the doubt, being like, well, it could be that they're not picking up on social cues. It could be this, it could be that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and not be accusatory, and then being like, you're going to make me leave the group. And then he goes, well, that's the fucking point.
Whether it's a joke or not, it's gone too far at that point.
On.
Like, I know
on.
we get when we get submissions like this, a lot of people are like, "Where's the DM?" And yes, the DM is partly at fault for not doing something before this moment.
Very much agree.
But this whole situation doesn't happen if Kay isn't a complete nut of fucking
Oh
asshole.
no, yeah. Oh my god, 100%.
It's Kay's fault.
The onus is all on
and
Kay.
And look, yes, the
definitely.
DM should have done more, but it like to hear, like the thing is when you hear like, this is making me uncomfortable, please stop. I really wish you would stop doing that. I don't find this funny.
Yeah.
Like being very clear, like obviously they didn't stop, and we found out why they didn't stop because they just
obviously
wanted you to leave.
OP to leave,
which is just fucking pathetic.
Like absolutely pathetic.
Just
and
go play in another fucking group, man. Jesus.
Like just like man, and I can't imagine how exhausting it would be.
Yeah.
To every single time you make a friend or you get a companion,
you get a pet.
Like, and you know,
pets are very common in D&D.
Very, very common.
So it's very likely that you could end up with multiple pets.
Yeah, or you know, an NPC you just like. You know what I mean? And then to have them, it must be exhausting. And I would be the same. If this kept happening, I would out of game be like, what the fuck is your problem? I'd be like, can you just fucking stop?
I know. Well, they basically did that, but in a slightly nicer way.
In a much nicer way. I wouldn't have been as nice.
I wouldn't have been as nice.
No way.
I would have lost my fucking. I would have lost my shit long ago.
Yeah, I would have absolutely lost my shit.
Long ago.
Like, and again, okay, it's a game. But like, you still form connections with things.
Like, but I also don't just want to be constantly fucking frustrated. Constantly griefed every time I play.
Like OP said, like Jam was my little best buddy. He was my adorable little guy. Like, you obviously care about them.
My little guy.
Shut up. And you know what? If you have a problem with someone, just fucking tell them. Just say it.
Don't fucking just grief them in game.
Yeah, or at the very least, go to the DM
Coward.
or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just making this person's life hell,
Misery.
hoping that they'll just leave.
Literal
Shut
misery.
up. Oh my god, shut up. And
you suck.
And I will say, the DM should have said something.
The DM should have said something. But
everyone should have said something. Everyone should have stepped in.
But at the same time, just don't fucking do it in the first place.
Yeah,
How about that?
Agreed.
Like, I always feel like, I know we can be like, the DM could have done more, all the other players could have done more, but at the first instance, if you don't act like a complete nut, a fucking asshole, then this doesn't happen.
This isn't the problem. There isn't a problem.
We can stop it at its core, and the core is you don't act like a fucking absolute asshole.
You just grow the fuck up.
You don't act like a child.
Learn something about grace and decorum.
You fucking horrible dump truck.
You reversing dump truck.
You reversing dump truck.
If I ever see him again, we're throwing down.
Let's go. I'm fucking ready.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, OP. That's just an annoying shit story. I'm so glad you don't play with him. Yeah. And once again, if you see this happening, if you see someone obviously being targeted, someone saying, please stop, I don't find this funny, it's annoying me, stand up for him.
Something.
Stand up
just
for him.
Yeah, they're right. You should probably stop because it's not funny at all. And then they go, oh, 2 people don't like it. Maybe I'll stop being a complete nut, a fucking asshole.
Yeah. People like that get away with it because no one stops them.
Because nobody says out. Yeah.
And you know what? Everything else aside, and it doesn't have to be, it was me. I would have been horrible about it.
Oh my god.
But do you know what I mean?
It would have been fucking tables flipped.
I would have been horrible about it. But that's something I have to work on. But there's ways to be like, please stop now. Mm-hmm. It's not funny. Don't do this again.
Yeah.
And for other people to stand up with you and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, OP? You meet this dude again.
Hands.
Give me a call.
Throw him. Let's go.
I'm
Let
ready.
him loose.
I'm there.
The fury will be unleashed.
Oh, fucking annoying.
So annoying.
All right.
So goddamn fucking annoying.
Okay.
People like that are the fucking worst.
You're the worst. You stink.
You smell.
Oh, all right. This is the last one. This is the last.
I thought that was the last one.
No, this is the last one. We ended on a wholesome.
Let's go.
We ended on a wholesome. So I'm going to turn this off because it's going to beep.
Yeah, well, let me just take the time.
When does it beep?
At 99.99.
Should I? I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. 87.
You throw me through a loop now.
8752.
Yeah, but if I put 8752
I'm
down,
going to die.
You won't have a clue what it is.
I will actually pass away and die.
If I put 8752 down, Margaret will be like,
oh yeah, I'll die. I literally. All right, this is the last wholesome, and this is the last one of the episode.
Thank you.
So this has been sent in by Anon. Can you hear my chair squeaking? My
Probably.
fucking big fat asses. Too much, too heavy load coming in.
Too much, too young. Right. Who sent this one?
This is Anonymous, and her pronouns are she, her.
Thank you, Anonymous, for your submission.
Thank you.
To the Eldritch Podblast.
I am a rotational DM of a small group of friends. The table is always joking about karma and character alignment, so I made a good and bad karma list. You do subjectively good things, you get to roll a d20 on the good list, and if you do subjectively bad things, you roll on the bad list. A lot of the things are just funny, and the effect doesn't last long, just till the end of the session at most. One player was being particularly naughty and harassing the poor bar staff as the bard does. So the table started chanting karma over and over and over, so he rolled. He got a 17. He now had to sing every single line he spoke till the end of the session.
Very good.
But little did we know, he used to be an opera singer in college. It was the most amazing and hilarious session we've ever had. He was incredible. I love hidden talents.
Would you look at that?
Oh, that's just a little bit
Just a
sweet
bit of
and
a goofy
fun.
one. I do love occasionally. Like, I remember when I did that wild magic battle that you did in
Oh my
Stockwagon.
God, with like the hair growing. Yeah, that's just a good, just a bit of fun,
like,
isn't it?
It's an inconvenience, but it never lasts long.
Yeah.
Like Abby's character got enamored with Josh's, and everything that he did,
She'd be
she
like,
was like, "You
"Woo!
are doing so great. You should be
Ignis,
so proud of yourself."
woo!"
And just shit like that. It just brings a bit of funniness.
It
But
does,
To
I
find out
agree.
like someone's got a hidden talent of opera singing,
Man,
I bet you that
let's-
blew your fucking socks off.
I just love that. Oh, he was incredible. Oh, I love that. That's just a bit of good fun, innit? And yeah, it's wild, innit? How many hidden talents do you think people do have like that?
I
Like,
got loads.
go on.
That was very good.
Do you think?
That was really good.
Oh, thank you.
That was very good.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Wow.
I'm an opera singer.
I knew that.
Just
I
good
don't think
fun,
I have a
innit?
hidden talent.
You can clap with one hand.
I can clap with
You
one.
can clap with one hand. Are you gonna show him?
It's very violent.
I don't think you're ready for this.
God, it's so violent.
Well, move
it
backwards
takes
a
a
little bit. Move
lot of
backwards.
like. Okay.
Go on.
You know, because people are like,
You have some trap wind at the minute. Is that gonna hurt you?
no, I do have some trap
You got
wind.
some trap wind.
I do have some trap wind,
Good.
but it's okay. So basically, you know, people are like, "What's the sound of a tree falling in the woods if no one's around?" And people are like, "What's the sound of one hand clapping?" There was a Simpsons episode when I was a child that I watched, and Bart like claps with one hand, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Let me try it." Are you ready? I'll take my headphones off.
Get it close to the...
I'll try.
Are you ready? Well, goodbye.
There you go. That's my hidden talent. That's my party trick. I can clap with one hand.
Oh, pretty good.
Whew.
Pretty good. I don't think I have any.
Well, you can opera sing apparently.
Oh, yes. No, yes. I'm the opera singer.
You're
I'm
the opera singer. Yeah, that is about it, really.
I'm trying to think of what other hidden talents you have. I'm sure there's many. I'm sure.
I'm really good at. I pick things up really quickly.
You very much do.
Like,
yes.
if I'll never be the best at anything,
Yeah.
I am literally the personification of a jack of all trades, master of none. I am. You give me a task, I'll watch somebody do it, and I'll do it.
You can do it.
I'll do
yeah,
it really
I
well.
agree. You're the best dungeon master.
Probably not, but you know, like I can pick things up really quickly. That's a
Yeah,
talent of mine.
you very much can. To be fair, I can as well.
Mm.
I'm good at being able to technologically do something very quickly.
Yes, you are. You have a knack of being able to problem solve.
I'm really good at rock, paper, scissors.
That's. Should we go?
Yeah.
Is it 1, 2, 3, go?
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
You ready?
You're really good at it.
Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go again. Let's actually go. Let's actually go.
Are you kidding me?
I bet you nobody saw it because we on the laptop. I flipped through the bird. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, go.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3, go.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3, go.
Dead.
The best of 3 though.
Best of 5.
1, 2, 3, go.
Damn it! Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you think?
She's
I'm pretty good at rock, paper, scissors.
You're amazing at rock, paper, scissors. Is it
Thank
because you
you.
can read me?
Yeah, it is. Goodbye. That's it. That's all we
that's the
have.
end
I
of
don't
the
know. I don't know what
podcast.
that descended into.
Okay.
Forget everything
our
you've
Etsy
ever
shop
known.
is listed down below. Use code Podblast to pick up anything you want, from t-shirts to tokens to notebooks to spell cards, all the great stuff there. 10% off with the code Podblast. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk will get you the t-shirts, the branded t-shirts, the Eldritch Podblast t-shirt with Squad Blast on the back.
I think we're gonna release some hoodies. I think we should do some hoodies for cold season.
Oh, okay. That'll be cool.
I think we'll work on some hoodies. To be honest, it's probably going to be like the same design, but just on hoodie version, right?
We can do that. I think we're probably not far off some new designs.
We are definitely due some new
I
designs.
think we're due some new designs.
We're going. I'm currently working on finding a doable way to get stickers to you guys, because we obviously can make stickers in our own business, but like they have like a sparkly film over them, which I don't think would kind of suit the Podblast too well. But I'm looking into
without that.
Yeah, I'm looking into ways of doing it.
Okay, cool.
So
www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk, which will get you the heavy metal design, the logo design, or the logo design with a backprint. Join the Discord. The submission form is in the description as well if you want to put a story into the Eldritch Podblast for us to read out for you. That's about it, I think.
Thank you so much to everyone who sent in your submissions.
Yes, we love you very much. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Yes, he does.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Monday.
Entity, make them clap with one hand.
Bye.